Good evening, everybody, and welcome to downtown Pittsburgh, PA, the Steel City, where tonight it's a perfect night for USL Championship Soccer as the Pittsburgh Riverhounds square up with San Antonio FC. Alongside my broadcast partner, Ricky Lopez-Espin. My name is Neil Rule. And Ricky, as we take a look at the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, it was a very slow start, but we knew they had Bob Lilly at coach. We knew they were going to make a run, and they're on a heater.
It was not a matter of if, it was a matter of when this Pittsburgh Riverhounds was starting to hit their stride, and it starts in the back, really compact defensively. But now on the attacking phase, they're just playing better. They're being more composed, more clinical in front of net, and this team is full of confidence at this moment in time.
They certainly have it cooking. And for those that don't believe what we were just talking about, here is the visual confirmation. The Riverhounds lurking, and Ricky, they're just 4 points out of 6 in the East.
I think you looked at what Bob Lilly's talking about and what he's trying to implement for his side. They don't have the luxury to drop points, and it starts here at home against the San Antonio side that is struggling.
And we check out our Pittsburgh Riverhounds player to watch, brought to you by Modelo. Robbie Mertz is the man. He's not going to wow you with a 20-goal season, but make no mistake, when something happens, Robbie Mertz is in the middle of it.
Pocket presence can beat you 1v1, can beat you through individual brilliance and combination play. I do think he's going to play underneath that, 2 strikers for Bob Lilly. How quickly can he get up to tempo? Because he's shown he can be a special player for this Riverhound side.
The San Antonio FC side, in the meantime, coming in to this match, struggling a bit. 1 win in their last 5 matches. It's not that they're not good enough, Ricky. They've had leads, they just couldn't close.
I think it's a consistency for Alan Marcina, because like you said, you look at the talent, there's no shortage of that, but now how do you have the consistency over 90 minutes? Because you've shown glimpses, but now you need to be able to close out games. That's the challenge for San Antonio.
And the challenge for San Antonio FC, as you look at the Western Conference standings, is very simple. They have to start winning matches, and they have to start doing it right now. As we flip the calendar to August, it is time to make their move if they want to make a push for the USL Championship playoffs, and that certainly will fall on the shoulders of our San Antonio player to watch. That is Juan Aguadello. Look, he's done it all in this game. MLS Gold Cup champion. He's seen it all. He's done it all.
Successful, really clinical finisher. He's going to stay high. He's going to occupy the center back and wants to get on the end of things. But the service is going to be the top priority for Alan Marcina, because you get him on the ball early and around at 18-yard box. It's going to be a really good night for the visiting side.
Juan Aguadello is the perfect weapon, no doubt about that. When we come back, we'll get you the starting 11s. And of course, we will kick it. Pittsburgh Riverhounds, San Antonio FC, USL Championship Soccer action. And we have it for you coming up next.
Amazing. At AHN, we see you trying to be your absolute best. And when it feels like you lost your best along the way.
Okay.
We see you taking control.
Looks good. Prescription. It says here.
And needing the quickest care possible.
Let's go, let's go.
At AHN, we see you.
Ain't no better feeling than a cold one in my hand. Well, that's why I'll be keeping Iron City in my plans. Oh, everywhere I roam, I'll be thinking about my home. Sitting pouring on the iron right before I go to rest. And when I'm laying in my bed, there's only one thing in my head. Just an ice cold can of Pittsburgh, PA's best.
Homeowners are always asking us at Quaker State Construction, what's involved with an extreme deck makeover? The question we hear most often is, do I have to replace my entire deck, or can I use my existing understructure?
Quaker State gave our deck and roof a makeover that I love at an affordable price.
For over 60 years, we've been making old decks better than new for half the price. Call Quaker State Construction at 800-262-DECK or go to QuakerStateConstruction.com.
Welcome back to Pittsburgh's VA, just about ready to rock. Tonight's match is presented by Allegheny Health Network, the official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds Soccer Club. Let's check out tonight's starting 11s. First for the home side, Pittsburgh. In the starting 11, no Edward Kizza, however, he is available.
You have Johnson and Sterling, the ones that are going to stay high for Bob Lilly's side, but this back line needs to be really compact. Hogan might drop in between Asumanu, and then how good can that middle three be at dictating tempo?
On the other side for San Antonio FC, we talked about Juan Aguadello being a focal point. The midfield needs to make it happen.
I think you look at Flores, you look at Hawkinson, their work rate on both sides of the ball needs to be really clever in terms of decision-making for Alan Marcina, Makava, and Solignac. Look for them to test the shape of Pittsburgh Riverhounds going forward.
So we are just about ready to roll. San Antonio FC in those road white kits with the black trim. Their head coach, Alan Marcina, won an NASL Championship with San Antonio Scorpions and also won the 2022 USL Chip for San Antonio FC as coach. The keeper for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, Eric Dick, a minuscule, a microscopic 0.75 goals against average. It's hard to score against this side.
Really good shot stopper in Eric Dick, but what does it look like with the ball at his feet? San Antonio might elect to press a little bit high. Big emphasis on the goalkeeper here tonight.
Alyssa Nichols, the head referee, says we are underway. Neil Rule, Ricky Lopez Espin here with you. Temperature at opening kick, a perfect 77 degrees. Very little breeze on the banks of the Allegheny. Early possession here for the Riverhounds. Suber sent that one in. That almost found its way to Luke Biazzi. So some early possession, early opportunity for the Riverhounds. Pablo Cisniega, keeper for San Antonio FC, 1.20 goals against average, 68% save percentage, couple of clean sheets. And there's that man, Aguadello. He commands instant attention. I guess they heard the open. They saw the scouting report, huh, Ricky?
I think he requires so much attention, like you mentioned. You know, now it's the players around him, whether it's Lacava or Solignac. Those secondary movements for San Antonio are going to be really important for the success going forward.
Robbie Mertz got the control and then got put on the turf. Luke Hawkinson taps him on his way back. I don't know if you can read lips or not, but Robbie Mertz is not happy right now.
Seems like a bit of a knee-to-knee between Hawkinson and Robbie Mertz. Bit of frustration from the player for the Riverhounds. He needs to be very good if Bob Lilly's side have any hopes of keeping all 3 points here.
Let's take a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by the premium light lager that embodies all things black and gold, Iron City Light.
Yeah, the ability to speak with Bob Lilly. He talked about what are keys to be successful, and he said, you look at this San Antonio side in terms of their set pieces, very physical, very big team. So how good can we be at attacking set pieces, but also box defending? On the other side for Alan Marcina, the player that we've been mentioning on Aguadello, get him on the ball, you will find success for the visiting side.
Quick touch by Hawkinson. Played away by Danny Griffin. Carter Manley will turn around. 23rd overall pick by Minnesota United back in the 2018 MLS draft. Played 9 matches during his career there. Big time performer for Duke. Let's check out tonight's injury report, brought to you by Epic Insurance. Danny Griffin questionable for the Riverhounds. On the other side, as you get a look at Bob Lilly and Alan Marcina, the two managers will be moving the pieces around the chessboard. played that one back. Good work by the Riverhounds to keep that one inside the touchline. Biasi, a little too much mustard on the hot dog for Robbie Mertz. Bob Lilly in his 7th season as the man in charge, Pittsburgh Riverhounds. And Ricky, you and I talked to him a couple of days ago in the media availability. And I asked him, I said, Bob, like, look, we knew, the media knew, you knew, right? He's like, yeah, we knew, but it took a little longer than we wanted it to.
Just look at this Pittsburgh Riverhounds, especially off the heels of the Supporters Shield last season. Always going to get it picked apart. Teams are coming in, wanted to take their pieces. So we brought in a lot of new faces. Like you said, Neil, it took a little bit longer than he'd expect to gel, but not a matter of if, but when you start to see them flying in all colors.
Blackstock into the 18. That ball ping pongs around and will go out for a corner. But Ricky, we're less than 5 minutes in. If you're a Riverhounds fan, you like what you've seen so far.
You have to be pleased, especially with Biasi and Blackstock on this side. The ability to go 1v1 with their individual marker. Blackstock, 1 goal, 3 assists on the season. That's a fantastic ball in a dangerous area.
Robbie Mertz will serve the corner. Played 40 matches for the Riverhounds in 2019 and 2020. Had 11 goals during his time there. Former University of Michigan standout. So Mertz waits for the whistle, gets it, drives it in. Cleared by Kendall Burks temporarily. Tainter that time tried to clear it out, could not. Ball right back into the 18 again. Cross, cut away, another corner.
Keep the noise coming, Hounds fans. We got another Hounds corner kick.
San Antonio FC. You don't want to keep playing with this corner kick fire. Mertz drives it in again. Ball gets all the way through. Walty let it go, and now Walty will be hit with a yellow.
But it starts with the lack of communication here from Walty. As this ball's rotating back across, you have to have the ability to call off your teammate. As you try to run onto it now, Hawkinson really clever right there. You need to tell him you need to run onto it. Hawkinson smells blood in the water. He goes down any sort of contact. Not what you want if you're Bob Lilly, center midfielder, on a yellow card within the first 7 minutes.
See if that changes any of the momentum Pittsburgh Riverhounds were enjoying. Direct ball sent ahead. That's flicked away. Mertz got mixed up with Bura. Throw coming for San Antonio. Carter Manley will toss it in. Manley coming up towards 100 USL Championship matches played. Kava gave chase, but a whistle and a foul beforehand. San Antonio FC coming off a 3-1 home loss to FC Tulsa. They will host North Carolina FC next Saturday. And Ricky, they are 1-8-1 away from home. And that's just tough to come back from.
Yeah, it's a bit of a head scratcher for Alan Marcina, because you look at his roster and the individual talent players that have had to experience, whether it is at higher levels, USL Championship, whatever it may be. So you'd expect this side to be able to grind out results, especially on the road. Has not been the case in 2024.
On the other hand, we talked about it in the open, the Riverhounds, well, they are coming off a 0-0 draw at Detroit City. They are 3-0-2 in their last 5 matches. Bob Bob Lilly was named manager back in 2018. He's been a manager since 1997. So Lignac trying to make a move, does very well to win the corner.
Not having the season Solignac would. That Pope only 2 goals to his name. You take a look at Alan Marcina, 6th season as a man in charge for San Antonio.
Was quite the player back in his day as well. 185 pro matches played, scored 73 goals. Zeffal sends the corner in. Comes free, Hawkinson will send it up towards a 6, and it's flicked sideways and out. So Eric Dick will get the goal kick. Eric Dick, the veteran, 29 years old. He's played for 5 different USL sides, 3 different MLS sides. He's a pro. And put together too, he's 6'5". There's just not a lot to shoot at. We're talking about Bob Lilly. He's a manager since 1997, primarily in the NASL with the Montreal Impact, Vancouver Whitecaps. Also had a stint in the indoor game as a manager of the Detroit Ignition. They went 22-8 under his watch. The moral of the story is this: when Bob Lilly's your coach, you win matches. That's the end of the story.
Has a really good feel of what buttons to press to get the best out of his players individually and collectively. Riverhound side, never easy to take on, especially here at Highmark.
Yossi slots the pass up ahead, beautifully done. Isaiah Sterling makes the turn. Walty loses that. Here comes a counter opportunity. Lura lays it off. Aguadallo. They give him some space to work. Aguadallo gets the ball back. Tries to step around his defender, nearly got through 3 defenders. Third one was finally able to get it away.
Just not clean enough from San Antonio in that instance. Do very well to push the tempo. But as Aguadallo picks up his set, there's no one in front of him. As a result of it, now you have to play negative. You give Danny Griffin the ability to close down the space, the Iron Man, for this Riverhound side.
Highmark Stadium in downtown Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, one of the most picturesque stadiums you're going to see in USL Championship. The train, the bridge, the river. Very, very cool environment. Four wins, 4 losses, 3 draws for the Riverhounds this year, and that is in stark contrast to last season. They were one of the more dominant teams at home. But again, as of late, they're on a heater.
Those are the moments that Bob Lilly was talking about. As the San Antonio side is going to play direct, you have to have the ability to win your individual duels. That's number 1. Number 2, the ability to win second balls, whether it's in beyond the challenge or in the middle of the park. And so far, so good for the Riverhounds defending this San Antonio side.
So Manu played that one back to the keeper. There's the Riverhounds faithful. Beautiful view there in downtown Pittsburgh. Aguadallo tries to step through a couple defenders, will not get the call. That ball sent out into space, and here's an opportunity shot, and the stop is made. Boy, Cisniega came up big and turned DJ Johnson away.
Talked about the importance of second balls and second actions. Fantastic little pickup with the head from Blacksock. As you have Johnson, his movement always going to cause issues for opposing back lines. Plays off the blind side of Mitch Tainer. Tries a wrong foot Sissoniego, but that's a really good save from the goalkeeper.
If you're San Antonio FC, that's the formula. You'll need one or two of those. It's the recipe to steal 3 points on the road. Timely goalkeeping. Biasi almost kept that in.
Fans, Highmark Stadium is a smoke-free and vape-free facility.
And you let San Antonio have a three-back system between Tainer, Burks, and Manley. They need to be really good and really clever in terms of their communication and passing players off. You do not want to get caught on ball watching, especially with Johnson and Sterling, how quick they can be at running and beyond.
Here's Mertz. It's always into something. Stepping up, right foot, shot from Griffin is blocked. Agudelo with a little bit of space. Lays it out wide to the left side. LaCava unable to catch up to it. So far, Ricky, for San Antonio FC, seems to be pretty basic. Get the ball to 17, have them go make a play. Am I reading that right?
100%. Everything that they've going forward has gone through Agudelo. Just needs to be cleaner as well. Just needs to be quicker in between lines. We have not seen enough of Jake LaCava, a player that in his own right can produce individual brilliance, pace, 1v1 ability, get him more involved. Him and Agudelo together can be the success.
Hawkinson with it. Manley back to the middle. Zeffal. As we move into the 17th minute. Pass slotted through the middle. LaCava very nearly had one of those moments you were just talking about on Agudelo. Over 225 matches played in the MLS, 28 matches played for the U.S. men's national team. Had a match-tying goal against Argentina back in 2011. Won the Gold Cup in 2017 with Team USA. As we said, has literally seen it all, has literally done it all in the game of American soccer. Ball will go over the line, so another corner coming up for the Riverhounds.
We got another Hounds corner kick.
So this will be, I believe, the third corner for the Riverhounds in under 17 minutes of action. I know if you're San Antonio FC, this is not a well you want to continue to go to. You're only asking for bad things to happen.
Especially with this man over the ball. That quality that he can whip the ball in with pace.
Drives that one in. It was available for a moment, but then the whistle goes against Pittsburgh. And there is the customary proclaim of innocence from everybody involved.
Right where you want this ball to be placed, about 3 yards down. I'll tell you what, I don't see a lot in that. Sterling is just there. I think essentially being a body, Sissoniego makes the most of it.
I think I agree with you, partner. There wasn't a whole lot there. Sterling was right.
It is every single right
to stand there.
To stand there. Does not impede the run, does not put a body on the goalkeeper. Great
Cross
ball.
in, nearly finished on the other end. Boy, that was almost a beautiful setup in a Robbie Mertz goal.
The second time that we've seen the Riverhounds attack coming that far end, and then now you're asking for the players around to make those runs, whether it's near post, whether it's far post. Sterling pulls out, Burke's with him, but if you're Robbie Mertz, you need to get on your bike and crash that far post, because if you do, it's 1-0 Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
Mertz will drive the corner towards the back post. This one cleared away temporarily. Here's Mertz again in space. Robbie Mertz will take on the defender, chips it across. Nicely done by Robbie Mertz. Create the space, keep the possession. Blackstock sends it out wide. Cross in, that shot blocked. It's still loose on the 6. Cisniega will make the grab. Boy, dangerous times here for San Antonio FC.
Been really impressed with the composure and the patience for the Riverhounds. As Hogan continues his run towards the byline, everyone's crashing the middle of the goal. So there's a nice little cutback angle. Sterling hits it well, just too many bodies in front of Cisniega. Fortunate enough for the San Antonio goalkeeper.
A brilliant touch there by Hawkinson. This is an issue, but the Riverhounds able to get back. Boy, Ricky, that's one of those rare moments with that five-man back line that the Riverhounds like to play. When you get opportunities like that, there's a lot of pressure to finish those because they don't come often.
Yeah, you need to take them. Hawkinson does really well just to put this into the path of Jake LaCava. And now it's a little bit of confusion between him and Solignac. See the frustration on the face of Alan Marcina. It just has not been good enough through 21 minutes from the visiting side. Great ball.
Beautiful ball sent up again. Here comes E.J. Johnson. E.J. Johnson rips it into the side netting. Boy, E.J. Johnson has been a problem on that right side.
And yet again, it's Blackstock again. Head up the whole way as he brings in Blanco. Now it's a 1v1 between Tainer and Johnson. And Johnson's always going to win this foot race. It's a really difficult angle to sneak that near the first post. But he's been active and he's been asking a lot of questions of the San Antonio back line.
E.J. Johnson, just 20 years old. That's a goal on the season. I would tell fans, keep your eye on this guy. He played that one up. Solignac plays it back. Hawkinson bends that pass in. Cut out.
Just going back to that Riverhounds action between Johnson, that's exactly what I was mentioning, Neil, for this back three for San Antonio. As Blanco gets pushed up, now Tainter needs to rotate over, and that's when Burks needs to provide coverage. One ball cannot take 3 players out of the game. It's just far too easily broken through the San Antonio back line.
Biasi taken down. Dick will ping that one out towards midfield. San Antonio FC looking for some control in this game. They have not had much of it. There's E.J. Johnson again. Look at this. Just was not denied. Biasi. Overlapping run by Mertz. Sends it into the 18, and it will be taken away by Bura. Mertz has it back. Biasi.
Just seems like San Antonio is getting beat to every 50-50 ball and losing in the effort category. Coming into Highmark, playing against the Bob Lilly side, especially, that's on a roll in terms of their form. You have to match the intensity. You have to match the effort. Has not been the case for San Antonio.
With a perfectly fried egg, creamy chipotle mayo, and pickles. Or you can head over to Nacho Junction and dive into our cheesesteak nachos.
Carter Manley tosses it in.
Tender steak slices, gooey melted cheese, and all of your favorite toppings.
Eric Dick will carry that one 3/4 of the pitch. Hawkinson will throw it in. That is college soccer at Creighton.
Go Jays.
Yeah, a little pump of the fist there by Ricky Lopez Espin. They are a powerhouse, man. Great.
He's fortunate enough to share a locker room with Luke Hawkinson for numerous years. Very talented player. Had a fantastic run with Nashville in MLS.
Had 2 goals in his MLS career, both in the same match with a game winner against Toronto FC. That's the way you want it to happen. He's got a couple goals and an assist this year as well. I have to give him a ton of credit too. Was the 80th overall pick by Nashville back in the 2020 draft. To have that long of a career in MLS, coming from the number 80, you don't see that very often.
It speaks to his character, his fight as a player. Yes, he has talent on the field, but what he brings off the field as well. Fantastic locker room guy, very coachable. Found a nice little home here in San Antonio.
Marks played that one back. Riverhounds, though, back in control of the possession.
Great ball.
Back into space again. Laid off towards the right side. That ball sent up towards the frame. That time it was Langston Blackstock. Instead of being a facilitator, he was an attacker. Forced the keeper to make a stop.
Just the shape is all off for San Antonio. Bruins default. I have so much responsibility to cover so much ground. That's not what you want for Alan Marcina's side. You want to stay compact in your defensive structure. It does seem like that front three between LaCava, Agudelo, and Solignac have no nonsense and do not have any interest in defending. So now you leave your double pivot exposed. And the way that Bob Lilly likes to play, he likes to overload that central location. Just running circles around those 2 players.
There you see the X goals. Agrees with your sentiments. E.J. Johnson sends a beautiful ball out. Biasi has it. Overlapping run by Mertz. Biasi tried to go back to E.J. Johnson. And that ball just trickles across the line. And fans, you can download the official Pittsburgh Riverhounds app to play along with our virtual halftime trivia. If all 5 questions are answered correctly, one grand prize winner will get $500, and everybody wins 25% off from the Riverhounds team store in stadium and online. Download the app by scanning the QR code or visit the App Store or Google Play. There's a lot on the line there. So everybody, make sure you pay attention. Your chance to get 25% off in the Riverhounds store. And don't forget, if you were, I guess you could rewind in this day and age. Rewind the live TV and go back and get it. But if you didn't, we'll give you another opportunity at halftime to scan that QR code as well. Ricky, we just saw a look at the the expected goals for both sides. And, you know, to be honest with you, for San Antonio FC, it's just there hasn't been any A, holding of the possession, and then B, any buildup with the possession so far.
It just seems like they're playing into that front three and asking them to do all the work. Whether it is Lacava, Agudelo, Solignac, they're getting caught on an island. I'm not seeing Zafal or Burup get on the ball whatsoever to dictate tempo, ball circulation. It's been very route one and disjointed from that man and his side.
Hawkinson comes back. Save the possession, at least temporarily. Brooks will swing it out. A.J. Johnson again. This time unable to keep it. The Riverhounds attack has favored that right side. And the Riverhounds were looking to go there, but the whistle goes against them. And referee Alyssa Nichols. A little bit of a stern talking to there. San Antonio FC looking to get something going. This guy can do it though. On Agudelo. Look at that, 3 defenders at Agudelo. He's able to escape with the corner. How about that? That doesn't, Ricky, you don't see that in a box score. Nobody's going to talk about that 10 minutes from now. But 1v3 and you come away with a corner, that's a big win.
It's experience at its finest. Agudelo understanding we're not creating through the run of play, so let me fend off not 1, not 2, but 3 Riverhounds players to afford my side to get numbers higher up the field, gain some real estate in a dangerous situation here.
Corner sent in, flicked away. That shot will be fizzed over and wide. And fans, remember, if you can't watch the match, turn on SiriusXM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on SiriusXM FC 157 and the new SiriusXM app. SiriusXM FC, that is the main reason for my SiriusXM subscription. I do love the app, by the way. And I'm catching USL All Access. Phone call happens or something, it pauses, I can jump right back in, picks up right where it left off.
It's the little things, right?
Yep. A.J. Johnson a bit shaken up.
Bob Lilly very animated on this near side, talking to our fourth, and Alyssa Nichols saying, how many times do Burke, Sainter, and Manley have to come through the backside of Johnson, being very physical with the attacking Riverhounds player.
It's like you were standing there, Ricky. That's exactly what he's saying. And look, Ricky, you played this game at every level as well. Does there come a point for San Antonio FC? Because I think that there is. When you get physical like this, they can't call every foul, right? So, I mean, at some point, you are going to get away with a couple, right?
I think 100%. I mean, you have to look at this back three and specifically their experience to walk that fine line, right? Not to do too much, but always having that little bit of annoyance for number 9. Now as Johnson is going to go up for it, he's going to understand, I'm expecting to get some contact through my backside now. It's so that game within the game,
There's Johnson. Laying it off. Chipped up towards the 6. Cut out by Hawkinson. Langston Blackstock has it back. Blackstock and Johnson have been holding court over on that right side, which I guess kind of fits because it sounds like a legal firm. Now here's an opportunity, but the flag, I believe, is up, and it is.
Unable to get himself back on side. To Solignac. Not the best of clearance here from Eric Dick. Unfortunate enough for the Riverhounds. Suber's quick to step off his line and catch that man about a yard or two off.
You know, Ricky, a little more than a third of the way through this match. If you're San Antonio FC, how do you flip the tide? What do you do?
I think it starts in the middle of the park with Bura and Zafal. They need to get on the ball a little bit more and be more intentional in the way that they want to play in between lines. It's too many times it's just pumping a ball maybe a bit hopeful into that front three and hope that they can win the initial challenge and win the second ball. And defensively as well, just getting spread apart. Need to be a little bit more compact. Watch out here.
And there's Johnson once again. Riverhounds unable to capitalize on a bad giveaway and nearly creating something on the other side. Aguadelo's jumping up into the play, calling for it. Aguadelo has it. Hawkinson. Riverhounds do well to get back. They create my favorite Ricky Lopez Espen term, play negative. It's great.
Yeah.
I never hear people talk. It is the biggest thing in the game of soccer. The absolute biggest thing in the game of soccer. You can't attack if you're going backwards.
100%.
You just can't.
100%.
It's not boxing.
I mean, you ask any head coach or any player defensively, what's the #1 priority for your opposition to play negative? Because that does two things. Now it gives you the ability to step higher and squeeze the game in front of you. Watch out. It also takes the attacking team away from their goal. And that's something that Bob Lilly takes a lot of pride in. How many players he can get in behind the ball. Talk about that line of 5 across the back. They've done just that.
Here's Johnson again. Johnson puts on the brakes, still has it. Mertz flicked it across. Now it's cleared out. Trying to step through. Solignac. Boy, he was dangerous for a moment. Solignac a couple of times here tonight has nearly slipped through.
Route 1 football from Hawkinson. And if you're Hogan, you cannot let this ball bounce. You have to go out and attack it. How opportunistic Solignac is. Fortunate if Eric Dick quick off his line to deny a transitional moment.
Solignac, 90 matches played in the MLS for Columbus and Chicago. It's his second stint with San Antonio FC. Played 16 matches, had 8 goals back in 2020. He's creeping up on 100 USL matches played as well. A couple goals on the season this year. Hogan. There's Robbie Mertz. Boy, I've seen Mertz over on the right side, the left side attack. He's coming back. He's getting his cardio in tonight. Beautiful 1-2. Even better defending on the other side by Blanco.
with how much possession the Riverhounds have had as well, they're probably going to be frustrated with the lack of clear-cut opportunities and not being clinical enough in front of net. Doing really well getting yourself into that final third, but now what do you do once you're in there? That's going to be a big talking point as we get close to halftime.
Hogan played that one up the right side. And that ball crossed, nobody on the other side for the Riverhounds, at least for now. Biasi, Mertz. Mertz cross was cut out. Malty plays it into the box. Boy, nearly a beautiful turn by Sterling.
Really good positioning and recovery run from Connor Manley. As Burks gets turned, quick to recognize.
Sterling couldn't make the turn that time. Hogan will play it out. Fans remember, Select is the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Neil Rule, Ricky Lopez, Espen here with you. 41st minute. Pittsburgh Riverhounds, about 60% of the possession, and to be honest with you, it feels like more than that. Lignac again unable to make the turn. But again, Ricky, as a guy that's played this match or this game at every level, you've been on both sides of this in your career. The Riverhounds with all the possession. As that pass, does it find its mark? It does. The cross, but the grab is made by Cisniega. When does that dynamic flip? When you're the Riverhounds, when you've been dominant in this match and you've had quality opportunities like this, as we check out the replay, when does that switch flip to the point where you start feeling the pressure that you've come up empty on these chances?
I think knowing Bob Lilly, it's going to be at halftime, right? He's going to want to get into his attacking players to say, we need to take our chances a little bit better. You've done a lot of the hard work to get to the spots that you want to get into, but now it's a time when that you can reward yourself in finding the back of the net. We talked about how good this side has been coming into this game over the course of their last 5. They've won 3, tied 2. But now you need to put a little bit more pressure on Cisniega. Apart from maybe 1 or 2 saves, hasn't really had a whole lot to do.
Ball sent up ahead again. But to be fair, that's really the only card San Antonio FC's had to play tonight.
It's been route 1 direct, just trying to play into the feet.
Which, don't get me wrong, I agree to some degree. You have Juan Aguadello sitting over there on the other side. Luke Hawkinson has been pretty good here this evening for San Antonio FC. I'm a big believer in that. Get the ball to your dudes.
100%, I agree. It's also very predictable as well. So as they continue to play into that front 3, without someone that plays in between lines, now you afford Hogan, Reynoso, Manu the ability just to go 1v1 and to understand the movements. As Aguadello's going to drop, I'm going to drop, because you don't have that threat to unbalance you in front of you, especially like a player like Robbie Mertz as he operates in between the pockets. So now if you're Burks, you need to make a decision. If I step in, now I have this man, Sterling, making those runs off my shoulder. It's that little push and pull mentality that San Antonio just doesn't seem to have throughout this first 44 minutes.
Mertz has been everywhere out there on the pitch for the Riverhounds. That's what makes Mertz such a good player, to be able to identify those spots, pick your spots, make your move.
It's just a nightmare to defend. Because it's whether
you get tired of it, don't
100%.
you? Like, he's always running all the time. You always got to chase him all the time.
It's also you don't really know what areas that he's going to pop up in, whether it's deeper, whether it's higher. Communication is top priority to deal with a player like Robbie Mertz.
Robbie Mertz was the captain of Atlanta United 2 back in 21-22. Throw in. Hawkinson is able to get his head on it. Tainter will play it back. Cisniega. Pablo Cisniega, 37 matches played in the MLS for LAFC and Charlotte, 2019 to 2023. 6'3", has a prototypical keeper size. And there'll be 2 minutes of stoppage time, but a corner kick coming up for San Antonio FC, and Juan Agudelo in the meantime. A lot of blood coming from the nose. Juan Agudelo, very frustrated. Athletic training staff will tend to it. And I like this from Alan Marcino right now. He's going to bat for his guy. Plain and simple. Since his nose just started bleeding, like. And there are moments you have to do that. When you're the coach, you want your guys to see that you're going to bat for them.
Hopefully that kind of energy can be infectious for players around San Antonio jersey.
Cava tried to step through a couple of defenders. But again, that's a great look from our camera. You have LaCava and 5 defenders around him. There's nowhere to go.
It's just no help, no support from deep lying positions. Not once have we seen Zafal or Bura make a run out of midfield.
Now the Riverhounds dangerous. That shot is blocked. Agudelo hesitates and makes his move. Puts it in another gear. Agudelo steps across. Goes down, does not get the call. Juan Agudelo with the, I don't know if it's the cotton balls or the cotton swabs. You know, through all the advances we've had in medical treatment, remember when the ACL was the end of your career and now guys come back in like 8 months? The treatment of the bloody nose has never changed. Never. Johnson the target. That ball will trickle towards the corner. Chipped up ahead by Walty. Agudelo goes down again. And he's about had enough, you can tell from the body language. Keziah Sterling in the mix. And the whistle sounds, and that is the end of the first half. Agudelo still down. And it has become a very physical affair. But no goals through the first 45 minutes of play, and now a yellow issued to Alan Marcina. by head official Alyssa Nichols. So we will take a break, come back, get you the second half of action. 45 minutes down. The sun was bright, no doubt about it. But our halftime score, 0-0, brought to you by 84 Lumber. We'll be back with more USL Championship soccer action on CBS Sports Golazo Network.
We have to warn you, the neighbors are going to be a little jealous of your new James Hardy siding. Beautiful as it is durable. That'll give the neighbors something to talk about. That's the Ireland Contracting difference. Call 1-800-NEW-ROOF or go to IrelandContracting.com.
Happy 811 Day. Are you planting a tree or installing a new fence? Call 811 3 to 10 business days before you dig. It's your ticket to avoiding an underground utility catastrophe in your neighborhood. Safety is in your hands. Every dig, every time.
Whoa, yeah, yeah. Whoa.
Nice. A little salt, a little sweet.
And a little scratch.
Ah, the new big cash payout.
Top prizes of 500 grand.
You've been down this road before.
Let's just say I'm a road hog. Viva Scratches!
Nil-nil the score through the first 45 minutes of play. Our halftime score brought to you by 84 Lumber. The Pittsburgh Riverhounds enjoy the edge in possession, but unable to sneak one across the line. Riverhounds fans, make sure you check out the new Spring Rivers kit available at the stadium and online shop. Visit riverhounds.com to get yours today. And fans, don't forget as well, you can download the official Pittsburgh Riverhounds app to play along with our virtual halftime trivia. If all 5 questions are answered correctly, one grand prize winner will win $500, and everyone will win 25% off from the Riverhounds team store in stadium and online. Download the app by scanning the QR code on your screen right now, and visit the App Store or Google Play to get the app as well. 0-0 the score. Halftime continues from the Steel City. Halftime score brought to you by 84 Lumber. We'll be back with more USL Championship soccer action.
Is it somebody's birthday? Dad, come watch us hit this ugly piñata. Dad!
When Hornets show up, so do we. Terminix it.
They're hungry for the women's game. They want to see women's soccer. They want to play women's soccer, and that's what we're building at the USL.
You can see it in my eyes, only want the best. Maybe running every night, won't settle for less. Got me looking to the sky, got me feeling blessed. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest. Burning up inside of my chest. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest.
New flavors, the same traditions. Be the guest of honor. Add more flavor to your parties. El Jimador, spiked bebidas.
With a brace. It's stoppage time.
mosquitoes show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Halftime in the Steel City, 0-0 the score. The Riverhounds and San Antonio FC. Neil Rule, Ricky Lopez Espen back here with you, and let's check out the USL Championship news and notes. What's popping around USL Championship? Well, a lot of things. Dennis Sanchez, the July coach of the month. The Las Vegas Lights, we talked about Pittsburgh Riverhounds being on a heater. Las Vegas Lights are on the move too.
Able to do for Las Vegas Lights, but you look at Monterey Bay, Frank Gallup gets relieved of duties. Now Jordan Stewart, a players coach, had done fantastic stuff for the San Jose Earthquakes as an assistant, Premier League experience, and then the U.S. Women's National Team in Louisville at Lynn Family Stadium. That's going to be a fantastic matchup on October 30th.
Yeah, it will be a great environment, as it always is. Let's check out the Saturday schedule and what's going on around USL Championship. Charleston Battery and Memphis, they are scoreless for the first 28 minutes plus.
I think you have to circle Lou City hosting Sacramento Republic. That might have to be the game of the season with how good Lou City has been. It's Sacramento Republic and Mark Briggs. Fantastic on the road. You can catch that one on ESPN2 at 9 p.m. Eastern here tonight.
Absolutely. So a lot going on around USL Championship. Then, of course, the left coast action going on tonight as well. We're not the only game in town on CBS Sports Golazo Network. Phoenix Rising, Tampa Bay Rowdies. You know that one will be good also.
That one's going to be really interesting as Tampa Bay Rowdies are flying on all cylinders. Oakland Roots and the Loudoun United. That's an interesting one. Brian Martin and company doing very well against Gavin Glinton, who's trying to right their wrongs as of late. Fantastic slate here. Saturday schedule in USL.
Loudoun United looking to pass another test as we check out the Pittsburgh Riverhounds upcoming schedule. The way they're playing, it doesn't really matter where the matches are right now, but it does help to be back at Highmark with the Colorado Springs Switchbacks up next.
Do not have the luxury to drop any points whatsoever for Bob Lilly, but you're looking at their road games at Birmingham Legion, at Indy 11, at Tampa Bay Rowdies. Very difficult for Pittsburgh Riverhounds. 11 games remaining. You have to pick up points, and at least 9 of them to have hopes of pushing into the playoff picture.
Speaking of sides that need to pick up points, this San Antonio FC side does in a very, very quick fashion. They go back home next weekend. They'll be squaring up with North Carolina FC, but you talk about a road gauntlet for them at Sacramento, at Monterey, at Oakland Roots. Charleston Battery's the home match in there. It's not going to get any easier.
Teams that are above them in the playoff picture as well. Really interesting for San Antonio. An important stretch in their schedule.
0-0 the score here through the first 45. We will come back and get you the second half of action. All the kids out there trying to be the next Ricky Lopez Espen as they get it on. 0-0 the score. Halftime score brought to you by 84 Lumber.
At AHN, good heart care starts before you're just not feeling right. Before you say, it'll go away on its own. Before it doesn't. Because before an emergency, there's time to stop heart problems with a simple preventative heart check. At AHN, we see you.
We're not the universe's window company. We're not the world's window company. And we're not the nation's window company. Thermo Twin is Pittsburgh's window company.
Pittsburgh is our home. Check in with Thermo Twin. We are employee owned. Check in with Thermo Twin.
Check in now and get 25% off and 36-month interest-free financing.
Check in with Thermo Twin.
Homeowners are always asking us at Quaker State Construction, what's involved with an extreme deck makeover? The question we hear most often is, do I have to replace my entire deck, or can I use my existing understructure?
Quaker State gave our deck and roof a makeover that I love at an affordable price.
For over 60 years, we've been making old decks better than new for half the price. Call Quaker State Construction at 800-262-DECK or go to QuakerStateConstruction.com.
Happy 811 Day. Are you planting a tree or installing a new fence? Call 811 3 to 10 business days before you dig. It's your ticket to avoiding an underground utility catastrophe in your neighborhood. Safety is in your hands. Every dig, every time.
Back to the Steel City, 0-0 the score through the first 45 minutes of play. Let's check out the first half highlights brought to you by Corona. And Ricky, there weren't a ton of chances, only one shot on frame as a matter of fact, but Pittsburgh very dominant in the possession.
It was a very physical match between the first 45 minutes, but Johnson was the best player for the Riverhounds as he makes these runs off the shoulder of Taintrue, never sees them. Really good save from Sissinega, and then yet again on that right-hand side, first time it's Johnson, then it's Sterling, Black Duck coming around the corner. But if you're Bob Lilly, how do you continue to see these sorts of movements? Players getting themselves in dangerous areas, but now the next step in that progression, Neil, is going to be the ability to find the back of the net, to be a little bit more clinical and more composed higher up the field.
Certainly the Riverhounds need to convert that possession. Blackstock was very good out on that right side as well. That was a very quality chance for Keziah Sterling, but again, ultimately that shot is blocked. And as we wrap things up, it was that guy again, Langston Blackstock and Sterling, and of course EJ Johnson as well. But Sissinega passed the one difficult pop quiz that he faced and was able to keep the Riverhounds with that donut on the scoreboard. So through all of it for San Antonio FC, despite the fact the Riverhounds have had all the possession, they're still one play away.
Exactly, and that's going to be a positive thing for Alan Marcina, saying, look, we haven't played our best football, but yet it's still 0-0 where it matters. I do think if you're San Antonio FC, set pieces are going to be the way that you can maybe create through the runner play to kickstart the attacking phase of the game. As for Bob Lilly and this Pittsburgh Riverhound side, yes, you have a lot of the possession, but now what do you do with that possession? That's going to be the top priority for the home side.
So we are just about ready to rock for the second half. Alan Marcina trying to figure out something, get his side on the score sheet, and Bob Lilly really in the same kind of position. He talked about the urgency that his side needs to play with. There is not a big margin for error, and I certainly think that to a man, if you talk to Bob Lilly and the Riverhounds, they would say it will be an error if they don't come away with 3 points here tonight. Second half underway. Neil Rule, Ricky Lopez, Espin with you. Highmark Stadium, Pittsburgh, PA. Pittsburgh Riverhounds, San Antonio FC live here on CBS Sports Golazo Network. Big shout out to everybody watching on Paramount Plus. Just more evidence, USL Championship, the media exposure, just tremendous television partners. Kava is down. And the TV ratings, Ricky, have bared it out that people are watching USL Championship, and in the meantime here, LaCava does not look good.
Oh, it's awkward the way that he comes up, knows exactly right after he takes that step. Not what you want if you are Alan Marcina. And Jake LaCava, very explosive player.
Alan Marcina looking to his bench. We'll see what the next move is for San Antonio FC, but this certainly does not look good.
As you see Alyssa Nichols there signaling for the stretcher. Does seem like Shannon Gomez now is coming in for San Antonio. You have to think that might push up Luke Hawkinson to a more advanced role. And Gomez will play this right wing back position, but you have to feel for Jake LaCava. Non-contact, line goes to the worst. He's okay. Our best wishes.
Just the body language of the players tells the story. The substitution will be made. Kava will come out. Shannon Gomez will come in. So what's this like right now if you're Shannon Gomez? You're into this match. You have about 60 seconds to get ready, because usually there's a flow when you're a sub and you know you're a sub. About that 60th minute, you start to prep yourself. Shannon Gomez, though, has to get ready in a hurry and jump into this match in a hurry.
I think you have to play yourself into this game, right? You connect your first pass, you get your confidence, you get into the rhythm and the tempo of what this game is all about, and then you can start to express yourself. It's not easy for a player with the warm-up that, not with the warm-up that he would like. How quickly can he get up to speed? That's going to be really important for Alan Marcina and the San Antonio side, because he's shown he can be a really important piece on both sides of the ball.
Shannon Gomez, though, not your typical bench player. 77 matches played for the Sacramento Republic from 2018 to 2021. 16 matches for the Trinidad and Tobago national team. Played in the Gold Cup in 2023. So he has a wealth of experience, certainly at only 27 years old as well. And they are getting the stretcher out for Jake LaCava. And right now, Ricky, as you said, really the only thing you can do right now is just hope for the best for Jake LaCava, because it certainly did not look good. So San Antonio FC trying to figure out a way to get back into this match. LaCava gets taken away and gives us an opportunity to bring you up to speed. Now, the last time San Antonio FC played here at Highmark Stadium, it was a happy ending. They got a 1-0 win over the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, and there you see. And really, Ricky, if you look at it, Carter Manley getting the goal. It might take a moment like that here tonight for them to emerge victorious.
I think with how tight and highly contested this match has been, it's a moment of individual brilliance, of magic, or a set piece that can be the difference. And that's a sight that you do not want to see, no matter who you support. Jake LaCava not having the ability to walk off on his own power. Like you said, wish him all the best as Shannon Gomez officially comes onto the pitch.
In his place, number 22, Shannon Gomez.
So Gomez in. We are back underway. Ball was played up ahead for E.J. Johnson. E.J. Johnson a little slow to get up as well. E.J. Johnson has probably been the best player on the pitch here tonight. He's trying to shake it off. Samanu. Blackstock. Comes it out wide to the left side. That's where Biasi and Mertz did all their damage. Walty able to keep the control. Sterling the target. Sterling fights his way through. Blackstock on the right side makes his move. Blackstock just pulls it a little left. of the post. Tried to slot it in that corner.
Have to be better for the Riverhounds at recognizing this space. You start on one side of the field. If you can change your point of attack, you're gonna have so much success at 1v1 duels. Blackstock does very well to set up. Blanco just pulls it a little bit wide. But you look at this San Antonio FC side, the way that they like to defend, they like to squeeze you towards one side of the field, force turnovers. So if you're a player, especially in the center of the park, you have to have the ability to receive this ball with your hips open, because that gives you the option to go out the other way.
Blackstock, just 23 years old, played in USL League Two last season, or last year, excuse me, before being signed last season by the Riverhounds. Had a couple of assists last year, has 3 assists this year. Riverhounds, as always, there's always seems to be a good mix on their roster of young with experience. It's always intertwined very well. Blackstock's pass was redirected, but still found its mark. Side attack again. Johnson the target. Didn't quite make his break. Johnson keeps it. Griffin. Blackstock trying to go back to Johnson. Trying to mount a counter is Bura. Again, back the other way we go. And for the Pittsburgh Steelers fans that are watching, it seems as though this match, there's been a lot of movement of the ball between the 20s. But not much happening in the red zone.
Yeah, everything has been in between the boxes through 56 minutes. So you have to think, whether you are Alan Marcina or Bob Lilly, how quickly do you dip into your bench to give maybe a different look, a different type of profile to unlock this game.
Solignac had a nice touch, unable to get it where he wanted it to go. Samanu. Malti will swing it out to the left side one more time.
Exactly what I'm talking about. This ball right here into Osumano or Blackstock is on every single day of the week for the Riverhounds. You need to be a lot quicker at understanding. We can circulate. We'll make this San Antonio side shift from left to right, and that's when the gaps can open up, and that's when you can beat them in between the lines.
Chipped up into the 18 one more time, turned away. Blackstock gets it back. Tainter will just let that one trickle over the line. So I asked you the question earlier, Ricky, about when you're Pittsburgh, when does the momentum turn to pressure? Just in the fact that they've had all the possession but haven't been able to finish. On the other side, if you're San Antonio FC, at this point, as we move towards the 60th minute, get about an hour into this thing, all of a sudden the proposition of a point on the road doesn't sound as bad.
I think if you're Alan Marcina and before coming into 2024, you say, I can give you a point here at Highmark, you're going to take that every single day of the week. But the way their form or lack thereof has been, that's a foul. That should be a foul. I don't know, Simone comes across and catches Agudelo.
But Juan Agudelo is going through it here this evening.
Just watch the left arm of Osumanu. Right here. Comes across, it's a foul.
Popped him right in the mouth.
Exactly. You can hear Alan Marcina and the players for San Antonio putting up their hands and asking, where's the whistle?
They didn't get one either. It was the throw.
Just going back to what we've been talking about with the San Antonio side. Especially as we are now in August. You have to pick up maximum points where you are in the table to continue to push up if you have any hopes of playing in the postseason. So yes, in retrospect, the point here at Highmark is always really difficult to duel any results. You want to take all three with how far behind you are.
Blanco looking for somewhere to throw it into, tucks it in the corner, and San Antonio FC will get a corner kick out of it. Nicely done. Solignac did the job to finesse a corner out of that situation. Zefal will serve the corner, drives it in, cut out. Probably the first one to tell you it wasn't his best effort on the corner. Ball nearly shook free from Hogan. Bob Lilly looking on. Riverhounds trying to continue their climb up the Eastern Conference standings. As it sits right now, they are still just 4 points out of 6th in the Eastern Conference. Some of the teams they're chasing and have a match in hand, but it's that time of the season, everybody. Once you flip to August, this becomes a reality. And every match is the biggest match. Tonight is the biggest match until the next one. Now Mertz trying to step in, lays it off, cross comes back towards the D, cleared out. 1 hour in. E.J. Johnson will win the corner. So a corner coming up once again for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. It is pretty interesting though, Ricky. The last 4 minutes, you've seen a definite change in the posture. Everybody knows where we're at right now. Everybody knows there's a half hour left and that's it.
Moments like this become that much more important. Fine margins.
Mertz towards the back post. Headed back towards the middle. Cleared away by Kendall Burks.
It just hasn't been good enough for either side in the final third. Whether it is a set piece, whether it is through the run of play. Has to be a bit frustrating with the points on the table for Alan Marcina and Bob Lilly.
And in honor of that, we're going to pass out some to one lucky section, and that goes to section 107,
Osumanu
Section 107,
drives it up ahead looking for Mertz. Can he get it to check? He does, but Mertz unable to come away with it. Good duel there. Tainter. And fans, remember, eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream and rep your team. Play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download it now. As the train rolls through the Steel City. Riverhounds trying to go a little more direct. That long pass sent ahead looking for Sterling. Agudello settles that one down. Juan Agudello has been put through the ringer here physically. You just know at some point he's going to be heard from. At some point over the next 28 minutes.
I think if you're either coach now, you have to start looking down the sideline and seeing what profile player can I bring in to give a different look, especially for San Antonio. Look at Hugo Mbong, attacking player. Chubaboni, Shaw as well. Two players that can produce some magic going forward. On the other side for the Riverhounds, you have Kizza, you have Bernardo Forbes. Take your pick. Players that can contribute at a very high level.
Mertz had it touched away, but does win a throw. No, maybe he did not. No, he did. Okay, tosses it in. Quick pitched us a little bit right there. Sumanu lays it off to Blackstock. Suber. San Antonio FC turns the Riverhounds around. But now some space. Sumanu with it. Walty will let it go, right foot. That shot blocked. I think that shot, Ricky, kind of reinforces your point that the pressure building right now. Pittsburgh Riverhounds probably believe they should be winning this match. That shot to keep it along the turf. I mean, you're talking about going through four to five, maybe even 6 players. It's not very high percentage.
Yeah, just not good enough from Jackson Walty in that instance. Obviously, it's going to be a battle on the field, but yes, mentally now for the Riverhounds. At home, you want to pick up maximum points. 25 plus remaining.
Boy, nifty little back heel. Works its way through, and that shot misfired by Danny Griffin. Boy, beautiful build-up. Probably the best display of class we've seen this evening.
First time that we've seen Danny Griffin make a run from a deep line position, which is a nightmare to track if you're San Antonio. You play it into your front line. You have runners off it. Fantastic little slip ball in from Blackstock. And this is when you're asking about composure from Danny Griffin. Running away from goal. Number one priority is to get your hips around this thing. Don't need to hit it hard. Let momentum do its thing. Put it on target. You give yourself a chance. Gets it all wrong, a player of that quality.
Danny Griffin creeping up towards 100 matches played for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. In his college soccer at Providence, was the 49th overall pick by the Columbus Crew in the 2020 MLS draft. Griffin's got 3 goals on the season. And you see his 3 goals and 20 matches played. Interesting note about Danny Griffin as well. We talked about him creeping up towards 100 matches. Missed 2 matches this season. First ever matches he missed in his entire Riverhounds career.
A true professional on the field, off the field. It's a fantastic stat, to the testament of the type of player that he is. The Iron Man, they call him here at the Riverhounds.
Here's Mertz.
just need more numbers as well higher up the field. It's only Sterling and Johnson against 4 San Antonio defenders. We talked about this late run from Danny Griffin. Now that's when you're asking Robbie Mertz to advance higher up the field. It's a hopeful ball in from Biazzi. Makes life very easy for Sisiniega to pick up.
I think you said it best, partner, just traffic. You need traffic. But on the flip side of that, though, as always, Ricky, that back line for the Riverhounds, always composed, always rock solid. There's a rare giveaway. Selignac plays it out. Cross in, dealt with by the Riverhounds temporarily. San Antonio figure will probably try it again. Beautiful turn. E.J. Johnson is up, but this is 2v5. Blackstock. Griffin will turn it around. Blackstock unable to handle that pass. And fans, don't forget the USL Championships on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches, expert analysis every single day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL television listings. Glad you found us here today. Golazo Network, Neil Rule, Ricky Lopez Espin. Special hello to everyone watching on Paramount Plus across the nation. Highmark Stadium, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 73 degrees right now. Absolutely perfect, light wind. Bob Lilly trying to figure something out. Get one into the back of the net. Riverhounds supporter section as well. Trying to get the boys going. Blanco. And that one touched away. Blackstock made his case. Blanco along the line. Hawkinson came to help him out. Cisniega waits for the pressure, picks it up. And you do have to give San Antonio FC some credit, Ricky. E.J. Johnson was the most dominant player of this match in the first half. They turned his water off here in the second half.
100%. I mean, you look at this San Antonio side, they've only conceded 31 times in this 2024 campaign. The only problem is that they're not finding the back of the net. 23 attacking goals, especially with the talent that Alan Marcina has at his disposal. Defending is never a problem. They're true to their identity. They're tough to break down, like we've seen through 72 minutes here. It's the other side of the ball that's been struggling.
Trying to step through. Ball is loose. Official says play on. Boy, Danny Griffin nearly made his way through. Let's give you the opportunity to be the referee.
Nervy moments here for Luke Hawkinson. Gets the wrong body position. Is there a little bit of contact? I think Danny Griffin goes down far too easily. Trying to look for Alyssa Nichols to point for 12 yards out. We're going to see a plethora of changes for Bob Lilly.
So Canardo Forbes will come in, among others. Junior Etu comes in. Edward Kizza comes in also. So this certainly changes the complexity of everything for Bob Lilly. He went to the bench and he put all his firepower out there.
More familiar players on the field now for the Riverhounds. Kizza 5 goals, 1 assist. Nuretsu 2 goals and 2 assists. So we have game changers. Hopefully they can get up the tempo and be the difference maker that Bob Lilly would hope.
Now the Riverhounds with it. That shot ripped over top of the frame. So the Riverhounds jumping at it. Luke Biasi with the opportunity. But keep in mind, Riverhounds played Wednesday night in Detroit. So Kizza, obviously, all these matches in such a short amount of time.
Take it a step farther, Neil. We talked to Bob Lilly ahead of that Detroit game. Before that, they were in Sacramento.
Right.
On Saturday, they flew back, got into Pittsburgh 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Monday morning, had to bus to Detroit on Wednesday, play there. So they have had a lot of miles on their legs. You see a little bit of a tactical change. Now Etu will play the wing back position, so Biasi would drop into that back line of 3 with Hogan and Suber. And that's the man that you're asking to produce a little bit of individual brilliance. Edward Kizza, really clinical finisher. You want him to stay high up the field to occupy this back 3 for San Antonio.
That is a great point, Rick. You talk about you essentially lose Monday. Monday just goes away because of the travel coming back from California. And the bus ride to Detroit, which is about a 4.5-ish hour bus ride, which really is about the same. If you're going to fly, it's about the same anyway. So it's just a lot of travel to deal with. But the flip side of that coin is that ball is cleared out. Corner coming up for San Antonio FC. The flip side of that coin is you do have the ability to put a player like Edward Kizza in off the bench. Now he's rested. But here we are. Zefal will serve the corner. And you can look at all the stats and look at all the numbers, and there hasn't been a lot of chances and all that. None of that matters right now. There's a corner in the 76th minute in a level match on the road at a tough place to win for San Antonio FC. Corner served in, headed towards the frame and sent just wide. There was Juan Aguadello.
Substitution for San Antonio. Checking out number 8, Sophian Sheffal. And into the match, number 80, Machop Chol.
Machop Chol will come in. Zefal comes out. Just the second sub for San Antonio FC. Chol 6'2". South Sudan has played for the South Sudan national team. Signed a homegrown contract with Atlanta United back in 2021. Played 34 matches in MLS. So obviously a very high-level international player coming into the game for San Antonio FC. Eric Dick puts the boot to it.
Gives you more structure centrally now for Alan Marcina as you bring in Chol. Will be Burup, Hawkinson, and Chol centrally. In hopes that now you have Solignac and Agudelo a little bit more influential for the 13 plus remaining here.
That ball was curled in by Blackstock. Great idea. Now it's given away on the other side. Junior Etu. Seen him have some huge moments in this stadium. Etu played in the French Second League back in 2018 and 2019. Let someone clear that one out. San Antonio FC still looking for their first shot on target here tonight. Riverhounds again on the left side. Challenge turned away. Walty towards the back post. That ball's headed back towards the middle, and it's cleared out. Hogan, Blackstock. A bit of a heavy touch that was touched away by Bura. Now an opportunity. Played away one more time. Walty will swing it back into the 80th minute. And that will go out for a goal kick.
Just want to go back to this last action from the Riverhounds. It's 0-0. Fantastic ball across from Kizza. But if you're Sterling, you need to be more proactive. Just too casual. As this ball's behind you, you have to make any sort of action on it to put off the defender. There's only one place that Kizza can put this ball back across that 6-yard box. A player that has 3 goals on the 2024 campaign, you expect him to be a little bit more intentional and instinctual around the goal.
San Antonio FC will go the substitution route. Mbongu will come in. I believe that will be the end of the evening for Juan Agudelo. And it is.
We have a substitution for San Antonio coming out.
So Juan Agudelo, who was put through the grinder physically tonight, no question. Had that header opportunity that went just wide of the post. Very professional effort this evening from Juan Agudelo.
A lot of his work off the ball. Agudelo fighting a lot of contact, always being a focal point for the San Antonio side. I don't see what Ugo and Mbongu can do for the remainder here.
Another throw coming up. And folks, the USL Super League is kicking off its inaugural Division I Professional Women's Soccer League in August. 8 teams across the country begin play coming up on August 17th, airing exclusively on NBC's Peacock Network. Cisniega boots it up towards the midfield line. Wilkinson was able to get a foot on it. Couldn't do a lot with it. Quick restart. And there's some urgency here for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Trying to stay in the playoff mix. If the result holds, they would move to 27 points. But the problem is Loudoun United has 30 on the playoff line with 21 matches played, as does Detroit City FC. So both of those sides would have 3 matches in hand. That's a tough way to go. Big time battle. That ball goes out for a goal kick. Riverhounds fans so Langston Blackstock will come out of the match. Bradley Sample will come in. So Bob Lilly overturning every stone right now.
And there's some head of hair that Bradley Sample has.
Bradley Sample.
I am jealous.
He leads the league in lettuce. Leads the league in lettuce.
I am jealous.
We've talked about Michael Bryan at Detroit City FC, probably leads the league in mustache game. Bradley Sample has the best lettuce in the league. I'll die on that hill. Period, end of story.
You got to ask him what conditioner, shampoo he has going on. Whatever he's doing is working.
Now a corner coming up for the Riverhounds. Maybe this can be, and there's a good look at the flow. Send it into Sample. With hair like that, how can they not score? Ball sent in! And his hair nearly pulled it off. Zuber pings it just over the top of Canardo Forbes.
Fantastic ball in from Sample. This is last-ditch defending effort here from Tainter. You have Hogan and Sterling at the doorstep at the back post. Flawless positioning.
Wait, it's majestic. Like, it just, his hair grabs you. Riverhounds now on the left side, 86th minute. As always in the game of soccer, you look up at that clock, 71st, 72nd minute. You look down, you look up again. Just like that. You're getting down towards the end. Service in. Ball touched across. Header! Just wide of the frame.
Now you start to see the Riverhounds understand the spaces that they want to operate in. Quick passing, off the ball movement. Edward Kizza mistimes his jump, but give credit to Blanco, does just enough to throw him off. You just see how explosive this Riverhound side can be with Canardo Forbes. Sample getting involved, off the ball movement, really unbalancing this back line of San Antonio.
Kizza very nearly made 85, 86 minutes of angst turn to elation. You get the feelings the Riverhounds not finished yet.
Just playing at a different tempo. Now as more familiar personnel have stepped over the white line. Players occupying the spaces that Bob Lilly wants in front of that midfield behind Scholl and Bura.
Malty does well to take it away. Here's Sample. Sends it back to the left side. Stepping through, that shot sent wide of the frame as well. Boy, dangerous once again. This time it's Etu.
Now San Antonio shifts to one side of the field. Now you allow the outside back to be the outlet for our Bob Lilly side. A little bit of deflection. There's a lot of English on this ball. And it's a really difficult technique for Junior Etu. Running full head of steam. Two players closing down. There's a little bit of a window. Tries to stab at it off balance. That's why it goes up and over the crossbar.
Crowd didn't like the call. Bernardo Forbes pleading his case to Alyssa Nichols. Nelson Blanco directing traffic. Tosses it into the corner. Now keep in mind, there will be a ton of stoppage time. Jake LaCava was taken off in a stretcher after what looked to be a knee injury. Required a lot of attention out there on the pitch, as you might expect. Bradley Sample had the touch. And another corner coming up for the Riverhounds. They'll play this one quick and short. That ball redirected out for another corner. Forbes plays that one short. Ball in, clipped out. Nifty little flick. Left side attack again. Etu the target. He slots it across. That ball nearly cleared out of the stadium. Boy, Blanco was taking no chances. There'll be 8 minutes of stoppage time. Another corner coming up. Forbes drives it. Cisniega makes a confident grab.
A bit disappointed from Bernardo Forbes with that service. Expect a lot from a player of his quality to pull it away from Cisniega.
Kiza couldn't get the result he wanted. Here's Sample. Sample, beautiful ball in. Sample gets it back, swings it out to the left side. Biasi. Sample calls for it. Sample has it. Sample lets it go, redirected. San Antonio FC hanging on right now.
How good has Sample been since coming onto this pitch?
He's changed this match, flat out.
Just giving this Riverhound side a different dynamic. Bradley Sample has really found a home here for the Riverhounds.
Bongu picked up a yellow card away from the action. Misfire on the header. That's a big break for San Antonio FC. They will treat this as a de facto timeout. Where Kizza couldn't do what he wanted to with it. And folks, USL Summer Soccer continues on CBS Sports Network with a Western Conference matchup of the top versus the bottom. The high-flying Sacramento Republic FC hosts an El Paso Locomotive side looking to climb up the standings. August 14th, 10:30 p.m. Eastern on the CBS Sports Network. One of those great national television partners for the USL Championship. Hogan makes his way back. San Antonio FC looks quite content to play for the point. And this certainly will be a tough pill to swallow for Pittsburgh if they're unable to come away with the 3 points. Match where they've had 64% of the possession. There's only about 4 minutes left in this one. Neil Rule, Ricky Lopez, Espen here with you. Pittsburgh has been moving forward. That ball given a lash, and that will go over top of the crossbar. Boy, that was dangerous. Chal almost stunned the world with that attempt.
Audacious from the sub. Sees Eric Dick off his line. Why not have a go? But it's such a difficult technique to perfect, especially off the half volley.
Ball still loose. Riverhounds wanted a handball, didn't get the call. Suber. Samples lurking. Service into the box one more time. Kizza couldn't get on the end of it. Cisniega will line things up, have to check the shin guards as well. Dying moments of this one. Riverhounds looking for a hero. Trying to bag a 3 points at home that they desperately need. Shannon Gomez will make the slow walk. Bernardo Forbes will be a gentleman and help him out. Get the ball to him quicker. Then Gomez says, I'll make way. Here come the Riverhounds one more time. Kizza. Walty. Hogan to Suber. Walty moving forward. Swings it into the box, finds its mark, and the header goes over top. Forbes the target. Couldn't quite get on top of it.
From the story of this match for the Riverhounds, doing well, getting themselves into the final third, but just not good enough to have the final bit of quality. He times it to perfection. Bernardo Forbes, he beat Shannon Gomez to the body position. You just need to get it on target. Snap header over your left shoulder. You get it all wrong.
Dying seconds of this one. Malty throws it in. Headed back away. Malty gets daring with the real estate acquisition. Sample. One more opportunity, perhaps. Kizza into the 18. His cross comes free. That shot cleared out. Boy, with the header. Boy, Griffin, who's made his bid for man of the match here tonight. Oh, and this will be a goal kick, and Griffin can't believe it.
I think there is an argument for Danny Griffin saying there is a handball. As we take a look, if there's an extension of the right arm. I'll tell you what. I don't think the right arm is extended from Brewer. That's what saves him.
I thought maybe he got a head on it to redirect it. That's what it looked like. I don't know if it was the spin on the shot or what it was. But you figure this will be about it. Etu picks up a yellow. So he will go in the books for dissent. Cisniega will put the boot to this one. And the final whistle sounds, and we end in a 0-0 draw at Highmark Stadium. The 9th clean sheet of the season for Eric Dick. He's second in USL Championship, but this one's bittersweet.
Yeah, it has to be frustration for the Riverhounds. They're doing well defensively, but not affording really anything higher up the field. Frustration for Bob Lilly. Did all the hard work, just did not get your reward. As for San Antonio and Alan Marcina, you can take this point. Not the best in terms of your performance, but you grind out and find a way to go back to Texas with a point in your back pocket.
Let's check out tonight's Smoothie Save of the Match presented by Smoothie King. Now, there were no shots on target for San Antonio FC, but the crowd got involved to keep this clean sheet. And there you go. Some great keeping work in the stands. It's a community effort.
Not only the 11 players on the field that are making their impact felt, saved hands.
Absolutely, and that was our save of the match, brought to you by Smoothie King. And now we will check out tonight's man of the match. And as always, the man of the match is presented by Modelo, and it is Eric Dick who gets the clean sheet. And why not? You're the man of the match. You're second in the league in clean sheets. Why not, right, Ricky?
You do your job, you get your clean sheet. It's always a top priority for a goalkeeper, and a well-deserved man of the match presented by Modelo for Eric Dick.
Get that man of Modelo. Maybe that'll help take away some of the sting, as the Riverhounds badly wanted these 3 points. So let's take our final break, come back, and wrap this thing up. The Riverhounds, San Antonio FC, in level at 0. We'll be back with more.
Whoa, yeah, yeah.
Whoa.
Nice. A little salt, a little sweet.
And a little scratch.
Ah, the new big cash payout.
Top prizes of 500 grand.
You've been down this road before.
Let's just say I'm a road hog. Keep on scratching!
At AHN, good heart care starts before you're just not feeling right. Before you say, it'll go away on its own. Before it doesn't. Because before an emergency, there's time to stop heart problems with a simple preventative heart check. At AHN, we see you.
To celebrate Team USA going for gold, Xfinity is offering a gold medal deal. Now through August 11th, get our best offer yet with Xfinity Internet and 1 line of unlimited mobile for just $35 a month for a year and a free 5G phone. Plus, add the new Xfinity Stream Saver for just $15 a month and get Peacock, Apple TV Plus, and Netflix. Hurry, when the Olympic Games end, so does this gold medal deal. Get the fastest connection to Paris with Xfinity.
0-0 the final score tonight in the Steel City. This will be a tale of 2 different draws. However, San Antonio FC probably happy to come away with it. And on the other side, Bob Lilligan and Pittsburgh Riverhounds, the look on their faces right now tells the entire story. They are very, very disappointed with tonight's events. Let's check out the match highlights presented by Corona. And the first half, really, Ricky, was where all the action was.
Exactly, for the Riverhounds, that far side between Johnson, Sterling, they've been putting some pressure. But if you're Robbie Mertz, you have to get on your bike to get on the end of it. You do all the hard work to get yourself into the 18-yard box. That's when you need to reward yourself. And yet again, you start to see players getting higher up the field. The numbers were fantastic, especially in that first half, Neil, for the Riverhounds. But yet again, it's that final bit of quality to break through that's been slipping through the fingers for Bob Lilly and company.
Absolutely, 64% of the possession for the Riverhounds, and that really was the story the entire evening. It was a fairly solid performance, though, from Langston Blackstock, and certainly as well E.J. Johnson. He was a factor. They linked up a lot on that right side throughout the course of the evening, but none of it was able to be cashed in as we finish the evening scoreless. So that will wrap up our broadcast here on CBS Sports Golazo Network. For my broadcast partner, Ricky Lopez Espin, our producer, Emma Watson. My name is Neil Rule, reminding you one final time, the Riverhounds, San Antonio FC, they share the points. 0-0, the final score here tonight from the Steel City. Thank you, everybody, for watching on CBS Sports Golazo Network. Have a great evening. Well, see you later.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.